In Cyberpunk 2077, to me, guns are king. While most people think of the characters, or maybe the cyberware, or hey, even the cars, for me, it's the guns. From the fact that they are quite unique, different, maybe even downright iconic, but also very simple. From how they can be boiled down into 3 easy to understand categories. While power and smart weapons are cool, my personal favorite and seemingly very underutilized are tech weapons. The most cyberpunk a bullet shooter can look. Needing to charge up, hearing that zeep, and the full charged force can make his music electric. And by his music, I mean the music of breaking apart the head of any scav corpo who dares take on my mentally ill character. However, tech weapons have another part that make them more than just aura-filled power weapons. Instead of ricochet, we get this cool little ability called just shoot through the fucking wall. Even if my enemies don't have the balls to fight me one-on-one, they can still easily meet their end. And with a reminder of my favorite part of my favorite weapon, thanks to Fury CEO learning how they work, I lost bingo to the head guy. I wondered, can this mechanic carry you through the whole game? Can you beat Cyberpunk 2077 with only wallbangs? Or only penetration damage, or whatever the hell I called this video? To start, this video is streamed live on Twitch and YouTube, something shame-filled plug, and the VODs are all kept in the stream playlist, in case you want hours of me reading and talking to chat. We can start with me making, honestly, the favorite V I've ever made. I'm having way too much fun making this character. The character creator's so much fun when you don't have to make someone that's like real and like exists. It's actually great when you just get to like make a person that doesn't exist. And with my chat's honest take on how she looks, if I saw this woman, I'd cry in fear. 9. It looks like she sells drugs at the bus station while pretending to know your grandmother from playing bridge. That's oddly specific, but sure. Do the only smart thing after some guy said I have a cute nose. My zesty bestie puts me to the testy, as he dares me to take a job from a man that is the greed they talked about in the Bible. As the car I'm after has many people after it, and actually has round-the-clock security. But after telling the cops, I'm just a little baby, which saves me and my new friend, whose hairline is literally an island. We become mercs in crime, and after finally getting to move out, decide that if I'm going to make it in the city, I need to stand out from the crowd. But since I can't do that just yet, since all my tech weapons are in the shop, like I said about a year ago at this point, feel old yet, since I've done this intro section on hard with only letting Jackie do damage, it's possible, and going forward, I'm letting Jackie do it the fast way. And once he clears it, I can turn the difficulty back to very hard. Excuse me, sir, you dropped this. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir, you dropped this. Excuse me, sir. Getting to think about every life choice that got me to where I am today, as well as getting to be the distraction for once. Until Jackie takes everyone out, you get to see what I look like when I'm not playing Deadlock. To get myself out of this addiction, I force myself to land against Mina and Bebop for 50 games. Find out the papers here have little poems on them, which immediately turns lame as they all have the exact same writing. Aw, it's not as cool because there's a bunch of papers that have that same thing on it. Okay. Let's go.
Why are we still here?
The inner lazy takes over, as when Jackie drops me off, I pass out while fully clothed. And once the day starts, I sell every weapon off my back to get my first of many tech weapons, starting with the DR-13 Quasar, so we literally have nowhere to go but up. But even with it being the worst one to start with, it'll be helpful as Jackie got us that uncensored JOB. I go to the only ripper I can trust to tune me up, even getting a new down under implant, take 2 huffs for good luck, defend my friend's sexy honor. Hey, you're not the real Gary the Prophet. You added an extra G, I know you did. The real Gary the Prophet has 1 G. You better fucking remember that. And get the lowdown of this job Jackie got for us. A group of people who I most likely thought would be super cool when I was 7, stole a spider bot that we need to do a heist with. The stealing of the coolest ice cube to ever be made. Before going to the bot, I stop by a nearby Netrunner shop, so I can pick up the quick hack ping! Not only does it help know the tech in the area, since everyone in the city likes to be made of more metal than JFK's brain, when you ping the area, you ping your problems as well. And since I got 99 problems and shooting through walls ain't one, the start of my build is kinda just complete, and with it kinda set up, it seemed to be the best course of action to just start blowing my way inside of all foods, one wall at a time. The first floor is all about getting used to the mindset of walls being my friend. I just have to reenact what I do when I go to any party and just kind of warm up to the cold sheet metal surfaces. Get the four-legged spider bot. My game of Mario 64 continues to be personalized. This is gonna suck to edit. It's because it's gonna be so much just fucking bright in the face. Okay. Can someone explain why this glitch happens to me so much? I am climbing a pipe. I've never seen Jackie. This has been a chaotic 2 minutes. Okay. And at this point, I was thinking the challenge would come down to resource management to make sure I can see people through walls at all times. But if I had a nickel for each person who wanted to show me a mechanic that would help. I was gonna make your life slightly easier. No. Acceptable. Have a nice day. That's why we love Talos. Talos asks a question, you say no, he's like, I respect that. I would have 2 nickels. Mark the enemies to see them through walls by clicking down the scroll wheel and scanning them. Chat, is this real? Oh my goodness. This was probably the thing that Talos was going to tell me. But I thank you. And I apologize to Talos for not saying yes. Meaning I can mark all targets, and easily and safely take care of them by just pointing and clicking. If you or a loved one are bad at video games, try this on for size. This video is sponsored by a mechanic that people don't use that often. However, just in case this became a little too easy, it was actually the reason my game was set to very hard. As, at least in my memory, enemies tend to be a bit more aggressive on this difficulty, and willing to break from cover if they feel like you're doing some form of cheese. Something Mr. Simon here tried to do, until around the last quarter of his HP, where he stops and smells the chrome-covered roses, getting me a good tech pistol for later, and later isn't now, as once I'm honest with the man who hired me.
So how'd you get that cat Royce to hand over the flathead?
Killed him. I simply level up technical ability for even more laters down the later road, and talk to my second favorite woman with dyed hair.
Keep that tongue on a leash.
Yes, ma'am.
Believe it or not, I'm no stranger to tact. In biz or life.
I have tact there. I can be a gentle lady. I can be a nice woman. But
Sit on my face.
looking into a recording from the penthouse of Yorinobu,
You look like a cut of fuckable meat.
getting to see his favorite chrome pole dancer, and by pole dancer, well, I think you know what I mean. We find information on this really cool ice ship, and the only proper place it can be kept. I then quickly install some mods to help my eyes, and after getting green crafting components and dealing with this sound over 10 times in a row, I make sure to get one last mod to make the sound of my tech weapon a little more tolerable. We then celebrate, and I get rewarded with the best outfit ever. Damn, that's a fucking tight fit right there. I don't like that this part like wrapped around like that, but that's like unless. No, hang on, you did not pull out the coolest fit ever and then wear moccasins. Like what is this shit? You got loafers. Like you got a cool like ninja type sneaky fit and then loafers. What are we doing? We have a true what are those moment. What are those? But we get driven to the job. Our spider bot does what a hacker man does. Jackie leaks the best line from his lips.
Must have been a who, huh? I'm Yorinobu Arasaka. Would you folks like to join my gang?
Jackie, how dare you? I have never and will never do an accent of anyone. How dare you, Jackie? Before we could pull out the ice chip, meet eyes with the demon in the sheets, and find out families in Japan treat Father's Day as if they were praying mantises. Manti? Mantises. And we now need to make our way out. Turn green circles into a gun that shoots the power of Zeus, and my hubris can be my downfall. As I use this AV as my cover, I can shoot through, breaking it, meaning we need to take the plunge. And with the coolest ice chip melting, we need to put it in the coolest person to make sure it stays solid. And thanks to having my shooty shotgun, even if I have to play it low and slow, due to needing to reload more often than every YouTube page to make it work properly these days, the troops of Arasaka Security don't stand a chance against my I swear I'm not hacking ways. Even showing the powers given to me by Clara, by taking out the mech that spawns when you become a not nice person in Complex Plaza. Jackie can do the after and before of everyone's favorite activity, The Cyberpunk video game can cause pain, as no, you can't do this section. While I normally get comments of people upset, as quote-unquote, thanks mancakes, cutscenes don't count, as well as people timestamping this part to say, you lost, loser, if I don't bring it up. So like always, the house always wins. But I'm not the house. Motherfucker, I'm not even the apartment. So Jackie died in my hands, not knowing he could have lived if he drank more gamer subs and used to go to LB to get 10% off. I forgot I wrote that joke. Before I realize the monster I've become, and tell the world of my hidden talent. Like my Goro Takamura accent's too accurate. Hello, I am Goro Takamura. Better buckle up. You know, and some people just find that weird, so. Is it Hino here just now? I don't know. He might have been. He might have just popped over to say hi. The ice chip turns out to contain memories of the coolest guy who ever lived, knowing a lady who eats more headshots than JFK, and is a very reliable narrator of his past, even letting us see all 3 of his deaths that maybe totally kind of didn't happen ever. The dreaming makes so little sense that it wakes me up from my death. My boss who killed me attempts to make right by his mistake, before getting to see the war that's being waged in my hard drives. Another no you can't part of the game plays, at least cutting to black instead of flashing white. Saving Takamura makes him kind of maybe want to save me, before I'm told the ice chip melting might have saved me for now, but since I was already cool from being on work with a self-imposed restriction, too much coolness means me and the man from the past both share the body. He tells me to do what all the cool fellas do these days.
Stick some iron in your mouth and pull the trigger.
I put on my kinda upset and don't want to try but also not really ready to talk about it outfit, which apparently is just enough trying for Takamura to ask me out on a breakfast date, meaning it's time for pain. Let us look at the fit of the lady.
I've seen this bit many a times. It gets better every time I see it, but I've seen it way too many times.
I can smell how badly he's gonna make me buy his pancakes, so I try and leave early, but not only does he manage to get me to pay, he gives me some good ideas on how to fix my situation, and find out we can even relate a bit. Huh? Oh, SpongeBob, I love SpongeBob. My favorite episode. So we decided to work together, until Johnny reminds me that something corporation bad, and with me remembering such an idea all on my own, I decided to look into my problems on my own for now. And to fix said problems, I first need to be the best me that I can be. Only possible if I get better weapons of fuck you, I'ma shoot through a wall variety. We have 2 stops on the docket. We start with stop 1, the suspected organized crime in Watson. Lars, please put a potato on screen. Why? For who? As one of the people here drop a blueprint for a weapon called the Buzzsaw. Is it a power weapon? Yes, but I was told it was capable of penetration. Editor Lars, I need a high-res image of banana bread in the corner of the screen at 42% opacity. Okay. And since I can't confirm it'll work, I also grab a tech weapon that I've really come to enjoy. To get it, I need to head to Santo Domingo's Rancho Coronado, as once you clear out one special lady in the suspected organized crime, the reason she's extra special is for some reason, at least in my experience, her body decides to not be lootable. However, once you save and reload the game, we can get the crafting spec for the Breakthrough, a rifle that not only always clears walls even without being a charged shot, but even has a really good chance to ricochet. But even better is its 300% headshot damage multiplier. It should be more than enough to make up for any lost damage by shooting through a wall. I also try the Buzzsaw, and while it does shoot through walls, it also sucks more than a vampire after realizing I replaced all my blood with solid red ice, making me want to switch back to quite literally any other weapon, it's so bad. And with bolt gotten for my tech weapons, and body for survivability, I decide it's time to test my abilities on a random cyber psycho. It isn't really a problem, as it seems the only thing trying very hard is my game. Why can't I see the water running down this? I might restart my game. But I'm ready to get my life back, and Call of Duty. Grabbing this weapon everybody loves, and I really just tolerate if I'm honest. And thanks to my investment into Cool, because again, I'm cold, I can be honest with Judy why I'm looking for Evelyn. So it's off to Cloud since I'm told that's where she'll be, and since no one is able to stop me...
Wait.
And even worse, someone committing the worst crimes in front of me, and the bat's outside. You know littering's a crime, ma'am. It's not littering if it's not on something. You know what? Fair. I'm in such a bad mood. The only thing to cheer me up would be to honor Jackie. His mother invites me to his ofrenda. I honor my friend with the belt he beat his father with. That's not a Larsism of redoing the story. That's a fact on why Mama Wells is the only parent in the picture, just so we're clear. We're good? Alright. Mama Wells gives me Jackie's bike so I can honor him better. A vehicle for me? I then crashed it into 18 separate walls. The funeral turns me into my sad, not girly pop era, and Takamura, once again respecting the fit, is ready for me to meet his friend. Whoa, hang on, you're depressed. But I kind of ruin it, as all I can do is focus on a cat, and his friend walks away after yelling about a parade. And even worse, the cat leaves. No! But to make up for it, I know just the person who obsesses over parades that happen in her Wood of the Necks, even having a little infomercial to go with it that shows us the security that will be watching over it. Takamura becomes the man who looks into that, while I get to investigate clouds. Finally, choose a woman named after what's up, and get forced to put my weapon away, what the... But for whatever reason, bringing in the parts and pieces of the gun, no problem at all. So we finally get to make the breakthrough. It's not one-shotting yet, but it does make the slow crawl through clouds much more fun. Makes me feel like I got a propeller hat, or maybe a rainbow lollipop. I touch the door that summons Woodman, and I take him out without even speaking a word to him.
Well, aren't you the queen of fuck-ups?
Learn Evelyn was taken by a kid named Finger, and with that information, we slowly make our way back out. To make sure no one sees it coming, and to make sure no one knows I was here, I make sure the lady at the counter is the lady who is dead. Why do I do this? Because it's an RPG, and I can do what I want. Let me roleplay a mean person in my role-playing game. Come on. Johnny's ice coldness, that's deep inside of me, gives me a small brain freeze. But he makes it better by switching up and not being cool, and forcing exposition, making my mind no longer freeze and just kinda have a headache. But at least now I can head to Finger's house. Some fellas make me not want to walk closer than needed, so I find out you can just kinda schlep past them. Like, I've double jumped here before, but never this. Also finding out that Judy showed up too.
Oh, you're already here. Could have told me you weren't a door person.
I'm not a door person.
Get out!
Thanks to the barrier of my cells and Finger cells, I can punch the information right out of them. But the info isn't good. Evelyn was taken to record bootleg Backrooms movies by a director who was only 5 seconds old. So I buy the bootleg to see if it's any good, eating it legally like Captain Jack Sparrow. Ah, shoot, I don't... My finger slipped. I was aiming it at a wall too. I'm so sorry. And yeah, if you're telling me cold coffee and hot pizzas in this, must have been recorded in Charter Hill Power Plant. Before we venture over, however, I get to make myself more metal, like double jump, or the not midair Sandevistan, that I never use for most of the run. And my armor of choice that I get kinda every single playthrough. The basic one, the nano plating, and the carapace. Carapace. No real reason why, these are just the ones I like the most. Thanks to pretty much every scav having earbuds, it's pretty easy to take them out one headshot at a time, even using the other tech weapons on me, just to make absolutely sure that they are booty butt cheeks compared to the breakthrough. Okay, outside of the shotgun, but come on. That's a given. Even without max school, this thing tends to be almost always a 1 or 2 shot, even with a much needed wall between us. Only downside is a small magazine, but since I can swap to my shooty shotgun, it's almost never an issue. So with every scav becoming something to be scavenged, meaning Evelyn can now be saved. I lit up a smoke for Johnny Boy, or as they call them in Britainland, cigarettes. As a gay guy, I gave you permission to use the funny British word. Finally, I'll save that one for someday. Thank you. I'll save it for after Pride Month, maybe. And while most of this was a waste of time, I at least get information on Evelyn's boss. Judy mansplains and manspreads the good word that they might be in Pacifica. Turn this section into a YouTube boop. And we say goodbye to Judy. I actually would have probably done her side quest for this video, but she never called or texted me after this, so yeah. The man horse dude says he'll look into the voodoo boys, just in time to pay Rogue to look into Helmet. Only after I sell every weapon I've stolen, like the loot goblin that I am. Since I didn't want to just skip time, so I can play more of the video game that I like, I instead do a few small gigs and clear out that cyber pussy, which is slowly inching me closer to getting the cool perks I'd like for headshots. And since I also wanted to show the true power of the tech weapon, I decided to do Monster Hunt the fun way. That being tagging the monster we are after, spamming his head with more volts than a Warframe starter clan, and just walking away. Another important gig is life's work, not because of difficulty, obviously, but delivering the car to Jake will get me a good car for later. Find out my zesty bestie is having wife problems, so I'm tasked with stalking her, only to find out she's not cheating. She's just made up of every beauty implant in the book of what actors shouldn't do when they get famous. But it doesn't really matter, as I got my armor, and my cool car, and a few donuts later, Takamura is actually ready to get this parade underway. However, if we have any chance of talking to Hanako, we need to make Arasaka property the property of two crazy people with a death wish, but one's cute, and one's Takamura. We need to look at the warehouse her parade float is kept, and to get a closer look, I just rush in like a smart guy, while my game continues to act cute for the camera.
Yeah, what the fuck is that? Okay. That's normal. I didn't realize how normal that was until after it had fixed itself. I was like, yeah, that's what they do. That's what the enemies do in this game. They always do that.
Thanks to this warehouse kind of just being a very open playground, taking the head off of every set of shoulders isn't that big of a deal. Outside of every time I'm hit with the weapon glitch quick hack, because that means I need to sit in timeout. But every wall gets new holes, as I get to be the worst barber as I quote unquote take a little off the top. Parade float mine now, and while Takamura gets things ready for the lady stealing event, meaning things are starting to look up, meaning I can get back into my girly pop clothing style. Taking long enough that the voodoo boys now need me, but not for the help with the ice chip. No. There is a mall filled with meanies. And while Placide might be a meanie himself, he's at least bringing sexy back. He makes sure I'm the lady for the job, the animals can be hunted by me, and for once in this entirety of a very hard, I finally get to be the one hunted by the melee woman. But once the chaser is dead, the rest of the animals just follow suit, before it's the fight with Matilda. Something that was much more of a problem than I thought it'd be, as I need her to take her enemy-styled "I need to give you time to attack me" moments near a wall that I can actually wallbang, with her back towards me. Which took longer than I thought, but once her weak spot was over with and her healing was no longer a thing, even if she's all melee and no rest, we play tag around this pillar, until she gets so mad that I've been tagging her through the wall that she gets up and decides it's time to be part of the wall.
Me? Just hanging around.
This man wearing that gambit fit tells me about these voodoo hackers, and I let him slip me a virus to stop them, which earns me some uppies and getting to meet the lady Evelyn is working for. Since this was live streamed, about 200 people total got to watch live a grown man watch two Barbie dolls experience something that makes me unhappy.
Get me out of here. Get me out of this damn segment. Get this shit off me.
Hi. I get to meet the man who only has 7 minutes to spare. Go.
I now have the confidence to drink and drive. Let's go, Wesker.
Also, Johnny can shoot way too many heads, make a car go wee, and watch his secondary side hoe die in a tragic Windows Update accident. That's the best joke of the video, and there's going to be no comments about it, and I'm going to be a little upset. But thankfully, since we mentioned a big company, that means we can meet an AI model. One that tries to be useful, but its usefulness doesn't count, as it's part human woman. But she said she can help us with tech and saving my life, probably. I killed the voodoos through the wallbang of making Gambit do it for me, and while there's obviously more to shoot through, I also, for once, get to see Placide really eager for his death.
What the fuck is Placide doing down here?
Thanks to Placide's rush, he already gets to start lower on life. And thanks to walls being my friends, he too can just be fully out of life. Well, kind of being worth nothing this run, as I don't even want his jacket. Oof, talk about useless. Johnny wishes his taxes could be used for more fun stuff, like chicken nuggies and milkshakes, and with the prospect of Milky, I make my way to Rogue for some drinky, and the info of how I can find the maker of the ice chip, as it's time to go to Pan Am. The only person who can help me take him down to Talkin' Town. But before she can do so, I need to help her get back her shipment of stolen GTA 6 codes, that she not only turns into discs, but also sells them at the proper price of $60. But after waking up from what life should be, a dream, we find out Pan Am's clan won't help, as they need to do a round of Dead by Daylight.
Generators? You won't help because of some goddamn generators?
Turn most of my cyberware blue. and also get a box of junk that Pan Am says will be useful. We slowly, and I mean slowly, take the box to the location. The walk is agonizing. Listen, Mr. Krabs. 6'7". Alright? You gotta learn how to enjoy this game slow, alright? My first 4 videos, I didn't skip any dialogue, and it was a blast each time. The place we're going to be taking her shipment back from had 0 lights, and it's nighttime, which Pan Am wants to ruin by turning on the lights. You all get to know why I never do collabs. Yeah, Chad, if you wish that Lars did more collab videos, remember that he is a little fella that hates messaging people. If you ever wish that I did anything with any YouTuber ever, just remember that I am too shy to ask anybody anything ever. If you ever see me in any collab, it's because someone was really cool and asked if I wanted to be a part of it, and I was like, oh my gosh, finally someone talked to me, and then I said yes. That's normally any collab I'm in, that's how it worked. And after turning said lights on, and I get to keep doing that whole shooting through walls thing, thanks to levels and cool, as well as tech just being very powerful, the thieves can be no more. And we can see what Black Friday used to be like in the good old days. They're all dead. I don't have to steal it. Pan Am wants to finish up the people who stole from her, but she doesn't need to convince me. As after I totally struggled to shoot down every enemy that dares to be in the same zip code as me, I can take down the head that's downstairs. Oh, I shot his wee-wee. Oh, I'm a bad person. That was a straight penis shot. As I can gather the Widowmaker, a tech weapon that is basically just a very fast sniper. Pan Am can deliver her package, and we can share a friendly drink before it's 24 hours later, and it's time for my needs to be met. My Anders Hellman is going to take a flight over a power plant. We can make Big Oil have their own Chernobyl, and easily find our way towards where the AV is being crashed. But Pan Am's clan is now in trouble, as we need to save them, and by we, I mean me, as Pan Am now has a new hole to leak from, as I get to take out the little robos and big flying robo, and since everything I've been using does electric damage, it's really no issue. The only issue is a man not behind a wall, and that's where the we comes from. With Mitch saved and knowing Hellman couldn't have gotten far, I chase him to the nearest gas station that also has flares. Fuck it, everything is overrated and everything sucks except for Sudoku, that should be lit. And scan everybody before hiding in a broom closet, and take down anyone who gets close. This is my time. We capture one human paperweight and take out his medic, because again, this is an RPG. And with my needs taken care of, Pan Am can lie one last time.
I don't give a damn.
I don't give a damn, she said after giving a large to moderate damn. The blonde man can give me no new information, but at least my Takamura can be happy. And I can share a not-so breath of fresh air with the Mind Man. My cyberware becomes fully blue, and I go on the only side quest worth doing, which is to summon the coolest vehicle that isn't worth driving, given to me by a homeless man who didn't even want it either. So with my new free monster truck and some other tidbits done, Takamura is now ready. But I only allow myself to meet with him after I take out some cops trying to be mean to this corpo man, and with no cops to save him, I can get a big payment. And after receiving it, make sure that this man won't pay anyone ever again. Me from the past can tell you what happened before I met up with Takamura. Going to the bazaar after I have car sex. The murderer of burgers is ready to go. The parade starts with needing to take down 3 snipers, and on the way, learn about a new skill check that seemingly does nothing. If someone knows what this does, besides drop squares, I'd love to know. Next sniper can meet his fate, find a gun I use, but it's blue, thus, and keep the clearing train to the 3rd sniper easy, where the sniper and the person who tried the good old get down Mr. President can both ragdoll to the floor. I can unplug the netrunner, of course not in peace due to one oh duh. Oh duh. Well, I thought this fight would be harder than owning up to a mistake to that one friend who's insufferable any of the few times that they are right. This was actually easier than scrolling just one more time when you accidentally load up YouTube Shorts. And while Oda is fast, it is very easy to force him into long animations of shooting that leave him standing still. And with his constant attempts at healing, that is pretty much the same thing, it's easy to drag his HP low. So easy that with a few good shots, I move through the last quarter of his life bar with a few well-placed bullets. So with Oda down, Hanako down, and any hope of us talking to her, you guessed it, down, we decided to leave. And for once, for whatever reason, actually decided to fight the enemies here. You really just need to hit the exit barrier to get shown the leave animation, but hey, slow and fun shooting wins the race. Loser buyback plays here, before the baby that knows I'm a loser tries to buy me to be her bodyguard. I accidentally show my bean privilege. Where do you live? The beans are expensive. I just assume beans are like cheap everywhere. I'm sorry for assuming your bean prices. That is a sentence I have had to say. Oh my goodness. I get to see how that one friend acts the second you be talking about a girlfriend.
Uh-huh. Clink.
What? Did you say clink?
Mm-hmm. Sound of her attaching her leash.
We get tech ability as high as it's going to be for this run, before the man in my head who frequently says no tries to get me to say yes. Showing me that if I go with Hanako, I'd be told to get up, roll over, and play fetch. But if we do things his way with drugs and booze, we can instead have 5 beers and 5 more beers to give him the ability to learn enough to get his old coworker back, who is now involved to save my life. Maybe, perhaps. Rogue and I can make our way to the boat that Lady John fingered for this information. Get a new jacket that is the equivalent to, oh, an avocado. Thanks. Before it's boat hopping time, I try and sneak inside, but since I am LarsBurrito, and stealth isn't something that is possible for me, we instead become the king of the garbage stack and shoot down the people under my garbage kingdom, even if Rogue tries to get up and be my queen. What are you doing up here? This is for me to be, not for you to be. The boat owner shoots me with Johnny's gun. Take out the last person while Rogue tries to yoink the loot. Bro slipped on a banana peel. Yo, come on, I was looting that. What are you doing? The shoot man implies Rogue is working for the corpse. We shoot him so he's the double shot man. And within my head, Iceman is happy about his car, that I of course drive with respect. He's upset that his third main squeeze has betrayed him, but still wanted her to get on it and pounce. Me as the driver, as I can't really sit in the cuck chair as we share the body, but it turns out I don't need to, as not only was the best thing shown to the sexy 90-year-old woman.
Oh no! Get your husband!
Dude, I've never seen a lash off from that perspective ever. Holy shit. She appears to be drier than a turkey on Thanksgiving, because Uncle Fred loves to cut the turkey too early. And since this is a bust, it's back to the porcelain meanie, who has an idea so stupid that my brain leaks through my nose. With my life hanging in the balance, Johnny tried to be like the mercy gif, before I'm upset, as I don't get to do the ending that lets me pet the cat. What? Oh, that's only with the one ending. Oh man, I'm not gonna be able to pet the cat. I'm not gonna be able to pet the cat, Misty. I'm not gonna be able to pet the cat. I'm not gonna be able to pet the cat.
Same glum face.
Johnny gets to tell his friend, bad Granny, but rewards her with the ability to make up for selling out to the corpse. If you're gonna sell out, make it for something you believe in, like a plan that was made by the George W. And with the help of the AI woman, we can get in the cruiser. Open sesame. Pull that joke from our friend. Open sesame. See the space plans fail in space. And our pilot, who doesn't have a license to fly, but does have a license to reenact his favorite tragedy, lands us in a forest. Probably something that was planted because I am the merc that shoots through walls, but they'd make the mistake of leaving enough rocks to help me save the big man, and afterwards, just enough floor to clear the main area. Oh wait, I forgot, I can jump! Inside is even easier as we finally get walls again, and the AI lady can do the whole project for us. Outside of the fight we need to have with the teacher, now that he knows we used AI on this assignment, we get to see the only death that matters in this game, don't at me, and the final fight starts. The, for once, hardest fight of the run. The thing that makes Smasher an easy fight makes him an actual difficult fight in this one. His fast movements. Bro jump scared me. What a bitch. Bro thought he was in the Backrooms movie. His distractions can take advantage of me just long enough, and the whole room being an open area also doesn't help. But with some lucky bad tracing from Adam Smasher, as well as Waylon being a tank, I'm able to clear his backup dancers and use every opportunity of Smasher either running or any animation luck I can use against him until he's brought to his last inches of life. Oh, he needs one more little tiddly-wink damage. And there it is. My last little tiddly-wink. My final line can be said. You know what they say. Fuck you. V can technically die standing here, as V's hit with Soul Killer, meaning V is dead and replaced with an engram. Johnny and V can have one last man. We really do hate each other, huh? Moment. Johnny Aura farms one last time, and V gets sent to the coldest and coolest place to shoot through walls. That's right, the space Blackrock. And we could prove that Cyberpunk 2077 is a game you can play by only shooting through walls or with wallbangs. I still don't know what the video is called. Thank you so much for watching, and show your support however you see fit. Sorry for the lack of uploads. It's been like a month. Apologies. Just trying to get this microphone you're hearing me listen to speak on working, as well as got stuck between like 3 projects and also Deadlock. Holy shit, Deadlock. But yeah, we should be back to normal schedule really soon, plus additional streams, which should be fun. But yeah, thanks again for sticking with me. Thank you for watching this far. If you have anything you want to see me do, leave it down below. And of course, not as always. Oh no!